Hi there. I decided this would be a good time for me to read from the novel itself, from Suicide Run. So I am sitting in my office where I can have both the camera and my main computer in front of me, and I can actually read it and still look like I'm talking to you. Instead of this weird stuff where I don't know what this is, but it's like this is the most common thing I see today in video is the guy talking away from the camera. I have no clue what that's about. Anyway, so we're not doing that here today. Anyway, so I'm going to read a scene from further in. Usually we see like about chapter one, and I think what I'm going to do is on the Hoddles Minions page and on the Huddles Minions page, on the TS Huddle Science Fiction page, and maybe even on the blog. I'm going to share a couple of chapters, one from Children of Amargosa, one from Storming Amargosa, that Kayleen Williams of Keystroke Medium fame read. And I promised her I would send Storming Amargosa when she gets back to doing Kayleen's story time. Please get back to it. That is, I never miss a one. I think I've listened to all of them now. But yeah, one of the reasons I love having her do that is she is the voice of suicide. So, here we go. Here is a scene from Suicide Run. And instead of doing the first chapter, I'm doing later in. No, there won't really be any spoilers. This is more of an action sequence, actually. I picked this one because Suicide is getting kind of snotty with one of the unseen enemies who was aboard a ship. So here we go. The ship pushed itself out of its makeshift grade, though it took some time to clear the forward windows. Suicide tried flyby video, but dirt had caked some of the outboard cameras as well. Are you ready to fly by instrument, Austin? How do you think I get over the Amundsens at civil cruising altitude? He said with a grin. These sensors look ratty. If they ever returned to Amargosa, she would have to let Who know his gambit to hide ships needed work. Should have used camo netting. They had cleared 10,000 meters when the cameras and windshield cleared. Where to? Asked JT. Make for the Minerva, said Suicide. Boulay, does this rattletrap have a name or call sign? Rattletrap? The Zarin looked ready to flip out of his harness. Commander, I'll have you know. Transponder reads Arcanum, said JT. Really? You couldn't come up with something more original? I got to Arcanum 6 hours before you guys. It's bad enough they buried the ship under perfectly good topsoil. The sky outside started to blacken. The holographic panel above Suicide's console. Sorry, I misread that line. And I wrote it. A holographic panel appeared above Suicide's console. Amargosa's budding satellite constellation stretched across the screen. A larger blip appeared. Within a few moments, its transponder tag popped up, reading MS Minerva. Suicide nodded to herself, noting they had not christened the Minerva as a compact Navy vessel. Follow her. Take us to 120 kilometers. Then stall when they contact us. Should throw off the Kirovsky. You sure? Said JT as he throttled up the orbital engines. On the panel, an even larger blip appeared, tagged CNS Anna Kirovsky. Well, that's not good. She felt herself pressed into her seat. Boulay, I thought these things had grav plating. Boulay made a hooting sound, suggestive of laughter. Hairless apes. Boulay! Zarin spacecraft don't normally engage the grav plating until what you call the EM drive powers up. And I should have practiced this. As the thrust increased, Suicide found it harder to raise her hand to the console. I need control. The Kurofsky is headed directly at us, said JT. That was odd. They were still inside the atmosphere. A ship that large should not have been able to dive from orbit like that. Boule! Keep your clothes on. Nothing happened before the Tsarin added, was that inappropriate? Turn the damn plates on! Her stomach turned as grav plates kicked in, pulling her down from the and negating the push of the ship's orbital thruster. Unidentified transport, a male voice called over the comms. This is the Anna Kurofsky actual. Level off and identify yourself. Prepare to be... A female voice cut in. Arcanum, Minerva actual. Please confirm flight plan and call signs. Belay that meant Suicide reached up and cut off the signal from the Kurofsky. Minerva, this is Arcanum, piloted by Suicide and Little Wing, confirming destination as Jephiva. She began tapping out a wormhole solution that would take the ship someplace other than Jephiva. Her finger muted the comm. Austin, Boule, get ready for low altitude jump. Shit, JT patted himself. Left my pills at the farm. Grab a barf bag. Suicide wondered when JT would grow out of his wormhole sickness. Then again, he was 19 and Suicide had been in her mid-20s before she overcame it. Find a helmet. He found a helmet under his console. Looking up, fear turning his eyes into saucers, he said, I'm sorry. We're going to have to get a doctor to look at that. Minerva, the Kurofsky's captain said. This is Anna Kurofsky. Stand down. This is a compact matter. Kurofsky, Minerva Actual, the Matesian skipper called back. You are aware the provisional government of Amargosa has final say. Suicide looked up. The Anna Kurofsky had drifted into view. A long, flat wedge. The ship bristled with twin railguns on the keel and hangar bays both forward and aft. That isn't good. A ship that size should still be several hundred kilometers out. JT? Go, he said, and buried his face in the helmet. The Kurofsky's keel grew in the windows. Several points of red light appeared. Either energy or plasma point defense cannons, said Suicide. Boule, the projection drive spun up. Pluck the magic twanger, he said. Suicide decided not to ask him what that meant. She triggered the projection drive. Ahead, she could see the Arcanum's bow open up like a flower. The sections shifted and came together in a dish. Initiating jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The windows went opaque and reality took on that strange fluid feeling caused by interdimensional travel. It felt even stranger projecting a wormhole so close to the planet's surface. Everything she learned at flight school told her never project a wormhole closer than 200,000 kilometers from a Class E world, farther from larger bodies. She closed her eyes and let the unreality of where they were wash over her. When she opened her eyes, the windows had gone transparent once more. Before them, the surface of a large satellite stretched out ahead of them. The milky blue half-sphere hung above the gray horizon. Beside her, JT vomited into the helmet. He looked up at her, his mouth wet. Sorry, his voice came out as a croak. Relax, said Suicide. Where we are, we can get something that can fix you up. Where's that? She pointed to the blue and white sphere hanging in the sky. Goem. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a scene from Suicide Run. That's right, you get to see JT puke his guts out. Hasn't done that since, actually, no, I think he did that in Second Wave. Yeah, he did that in Second Wave, and I think in Storming, somebody shoved him some pills at him because he was becoming a pilot. So, anyway, it's exciting. Puking pilots. And Goem, a little background on this. This is established in several of the earlier novels, but it shows up most prominently in the Immortals and gets talked about a lot in Storming. Goem is the home of Neanderthals that were transplanted before that species of human went extinct on Earth. And their planet is kind of like Tian, almost a perfect twin of Earth, which is, a big blue marble with a large rocky satellite orbiting it. I do believe it's the Immortals, and the reason I say this is I don't have them in front of me. My memory is spotty at best because I'm getting old. But Goem and its moon are near twins to Earth. They're about the same size, each body, except that their moon, which is called Nen, which is a Proto-European and Indo-European word for moon, is somewhat closer. So they actually had less history before they set foot on their moon than we did. On the other hand, I haven't written this, but I could always say that it took them longer once they got airborne to figure that out. You never know. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and we will move on to the next item up for bids on The Price is Right.